a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to the Restricted Section, a podcast where my friends say smart things about Harry Potter, and then I'm like, wait, what? If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about this week. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 31, Owls. This chapter sucks. It sucks a lot. It's like if you were doing exams, but you didn't have to because you were reading a novel, and these are somebody else's exams. It's like excruciating detail. It's fine. But during the astronomy exam, they're all watching from the astronomy tower, and Umbridge stomps down with like a gang to go attack Hagrid or whatever. Maybe fire him, but like probably attack him. And then McGonagall, our favorite bitch, stomps down to go support Hagrid, and they fucking attack her and fucking KO. And they're expected to finish their exam after that. Can you imagine? Welcome to the Restricted Section where, fuck standardized testing, someone's getting shot at. I'm your host, Christina. My co-host today is Andrew. Say hello to the listeners, Andrew.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew.
And our special guest today is returning guest and our friend Adele. Say hello to the listeners, Adele.
Hello, it's me.
Oh my God. I feel like you have pulled that line more than once in your life.
But
So Adele, Control F, type in the name Adele. Oh, did you know that inside the name Madeline is the name Adele? I learned that just now.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
It's Adele-ine.
Oh yeah, Adele has actually been short for Madeline this whole time, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not
weird
who you thought I was.
to take the middle of the word. That would be like my nickname being like Isty.
That's your new nickname now.
Wow, I hate it. Thanks.
Or you could have just gone with my nickname being Drew.
But that's not the middle of the name.
Dre. I could have gone by Dre my entire life.
Ooh.
Ooh, am I secretly a Dre? Let's find out.
The wheel of this podcast keeps on turning, and we are constantly doing things by accident. Like, Adele, the last time we had you on the show was March 31st, 2022, talking about the third task. And now this episode is going to come out on the 29th, March 29th. So it's like a perfect year later.
Oh, I like that. That's kind of like a little anniversary. I think.
Yeah, we never do these things on purpose, ever.
Last time I think I was on, I talked about all of the monsters in the third task.
Oh, yes.
Was that when I ranked them, like how likely I was to bone them?
Who'd you fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right. I don't remember,
I have
but
not
that
changed,
sounds
so
right. Yeah.
Nothing's changed. I've just become slightly more gaunt, haggard, and despairing of the world around me.
But in all seriousness, how the hell have you been?
I've been good. It's funny. I was just talking, about how literally 30 minutes ago I had a job interview. And then it was like, time to talk about owls. So I was like, I can kind of like relate to the stress of the students, I guess. I haven't had like a real exam period in a while, probably like about 2, maybe 3 years since before
really?
COVID. Yeah.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But I fully remember that feeling of sitting in like the gymnasium with tons of students on your little desk, and you have 3 hours and you just sit there for 3 hours.
I have like vivid memories of, especially for like the writing, like so in Virginia they're called SOLs, Standards of Learning, and so I have vivid memories of working on my writing SOLs and like bringing myself almost to tears because I like wasn't writing fast enough and my hand was cramping up. And I was like, I'm never gonna finish getting my thoughts out on paper.
Oh, fuck standardized testing.
Yeah, especially fuck handwriting it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
As someone who also grades exams, they were like handwritten exams last term that I was like, what are you saying? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what this word is. Yeah.
Oh, man. Little +1 for creativity.
Yeah. Or when they draw like little cartoons because they like know that they've done bad on the multiple choice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I used to do that. My algebra teacher in high school would give us a quarter credit on a question if we could illustrate why we didn't know it.
Nice. If I was a prof, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably do anything to protect my children from standardized testing. It's so fucked for so many reasons. Like, I mean, it's ableist. It's conformist.
If you've got the HD, you're doomed.
Yeah. Wait, HD?
ADHD.
Oh, I got it. Okay. I'm pretty neurotypical. And like I mentioned, like I still struggled with it because it's just so bad in so many ways for all different kinds of people. So many people just like can't sit down. My brother's left-handed. That makes it so much harder.
Yeah, you need the special desks and everything.
Yeah, it's fucked. But anyway, we'll get more into it as we go because that is kind of all there is to talk about in this chapter. But first, we have a couple orders of business. First of all, I'm a little sick again. If I sound weird, it's because I'm a little sick. Don't judge me. I'm drinking Theraflu from my, can you see what my mug says?
Number 1
Oh,
Pod
hey
Daddy.
there, Pod Daddy. You come
Number
here
1 Pod
often.
Daddy. This is a gift from my beloved friend Charlie, who's been putting up with a lot of my bullshit lately. So shout out to Charlie. I love and appreciate you, and you're growing stronger every day.
We love you, Charlie.
Love you, Charlie. Also, so when I was preparing my Theraflu, I was telling my husband, I think that this is the first time ever that I am ever going to record this podcast stone cold sober.
What?
And my husband was like, you're disgusting because he doesn't drink or smoke. So he was like, he was like, that's fucked.
Tina, as your friend, I do not support this decision.
Well, I didn't finish the story, Andrew.
Okay, good.
I sat down at my computer and my pipe and my grinder are just sitting here.
Just right. They're within arm's reach. They're so close. They're looking at you.
I don't even have to move my arm. If I just extend my hand to its fullest length, my little middle finger is brushing the lighter. So if you hear me back here like, it's because I smoked some weed when I shouldn't have.
Oh, no, it's because you're sick. Totally sick.
Combo attack.
Wham, bam, combo.
It's secretly because your laugh sounds terrible and we've never told you. It sounds like a cough. What is going on? I've been meaning to bring this up for a very long time.
Trigger warning for the hem.
If this is the first episode I record Stone Cold Sober ever, that will be quite an accomplishment because this is our 150th episode.
Woo!
Can you imagine doing something 150 times?
Yes.
Every day.
Maybe like a jump rope.
Oh, I'm thinking just like the endless monotony of the days.
Yeah, okay, so I guess maybe that wasn't... Okay, but imagine this. You're cruising for a new podcast to listen to. This one has a backlog of 150 episodes. You're like, I really don't want to go to the beginning.
The beginning is fun, though. The beginning is fun. I remember your beginning. I've been here since the beginning.
Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written.
I put a disclaimer on the first episode where I was like, hey.
That audio quality.
I know. Yeah, like I know how this sounds. Just
the word.
Keep it up.
I don't know. I think I'm saying it right. Cacophony or cacophony.
Cacophony.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Cacophony.
that's the first couple episodes right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how could we have anticipated that having 8 people sit around a microphone in the middle of a table would have not been optimum sound technique? Like,
Yeah.
This was before COVID, so I didn't know Zoom was a thing. I didn't know it existed.
They were fun, though.
I completely agree. They're also really sparkly and shiny-eyed back in the day when this was still a simp podcast.
That's true.
We have
You live and you learn.
grown so much. We don't like Harry Potter anymore. So that's cool. That's called character development, baby.
The light slowly leaving your eyes speaks otherwise. The resignation in your voice.
As Christina stares into the middle distance, and somehow a cigarette just appears lit in her fingers.
Haunting choral music slowly trickles in the soundtrack.
The rising angelic choirs singing over dystopian words.
Listen, I watched a movie. You know, I'm still finishing up Nicolas Cage's filmography, and I watched a movie yesterday starring Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan, and Andre Braugher. I feel like I pronounced that too hard. Braugher? Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You embarrassed me in front of Derek Jeter.
You embarrassed yourself in front of Derek Jeter.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Brar.
Brower?
If only Haley was here, she would tell
Brar.
me. But it was called City of Angels, and it was about Meg Ryan as an ER doctor, and Nicolas Cage is her angel who falls in love with her.
Isn't that where that one song, In the Arms of the Angel? That one?
Wait, I was about to tell you that they used the Sarah McLachlan song in it, but did they write it for the song?
Yeah.
Googling.
I'm pretty sure it was written for the movie. Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan is Canadian, I think.
Oh my god.
So I think that's why I know this. And also my parents, it was like one of the very few songs my dad had on his like iPod Nano when I was like 2009. So I was like listening to that and old Green Day.
Okay.
It's a good song.
Wow.
According to Wikipedia, the song is about the death of the Smashing Pumpkins touring keyboard player from a heroin.
In the hotel room, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't say in the hotel room in this blurb on Google. I didn't open the page.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
it wasn't written for the movie then.
Okay. I believe it though because it was a little too perfect, and they used one other song where I was like, oh, Goo Goo Dolls' Iris also was featured.
Oh
in
my
that
gosh. Now I'm gonna go on a Goo Goo Dolls kick this after we're done here.
The Goo Goo Dolls fucking slap. Oh my god. Superstar Car Wash, is that the name of that album?
I do not
fucking
remember.
good. Anyway, obviously I was an early 90s kid. Why did I start talking about this?
Nicolas
The Goo
Cage.
Goo Dolls fucking right. This is now a Goo Goo Dolls podcast.
Nicolas
Welcome to
Cage.
the Goo Goo Cast.
Oh, and much like Harry Potter, it does not still hold up.
Ooh, like the National Treasure movies. I rewatched those recently.
Amazing. No notes.
Perfect as they are.
Yeah, let's just not look at those too closely.
Definitely don't look too closely. They're hugely glorifying of colonialism. The second one is way harder to watch than the first one because it's on Mount Rushmore. The first one is
fun.
I think it's fun as hell.
Unironically
Don't love the
fun.
way that it hates women.
Well.
Don't like the way that it's like, this country is beautiful because of the white dudes who left litter all over the place for us to find.
Oh, well, not to keep going on this tangent of like early 2000s adventure movies, but the Lara Croft movies with Angelina Jolie, those slap.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, my friend Emily was her for Halloween once, and that's a fitting costume.
Yeah.
By that I mean she's hot.
New costume idea for my Halloween just dropped.
I know 150 episodes sounds like a lot, but just for some context, on page 150 of this book,
Oh no.
Harry was leaving his hearing.
Oh wow.
Do you remember that? It was so long ago. I was a different person then.
It was a whole different.
So was Harry.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to the chapter, one more thing. I don't know if y'all remember a couple episodes ago, I read a bad review that made me laugh. The bad reviews make me laugh more than the good ones. Hey,
Love 'em.
I love a good review. Don't get me wrong. But give us a 4-star scathing review. That's fucking funny.
We will roast
So,
you.
I asked people to write in bad reviews. Mott's listens on Spotify. They don't let you write reviews, but you know he was nice enough to write us a scathing review. So this email's from Mott's. Lately, this podcast has started asking for bad reviews, but if you decide to send that message out to your audience, you better be able to take it. So strap yourselves in because I've got a lot to get off my chest. The podcast is hosted by a group of quite possibly the most annoying assholes to ever plague this world. I have no idea how these idiots thought they could run a Harry Potter podcast, but they did, and here we are. I guess it's just another sign that humanity is an absolute joke. God save us all. They have to rely on funnier guests. Adele, that's you.
Ooh, that makes me funny.
They have to rely on funnier guests for their episodes to come even close to being enjoyable. And I have to assume that this is how the podcast has as many as 100,000 downloads. As for the hosts themselves, I thought I'd go into some specifics so that people know exactly what they're in for.
Ooh.
You are welcome. The main host has an infuriating habit of always either drinking or smoking or both while recording. Hey, Mott's, go fuck yourself. I'm
the real reason she's sober right now.
She seems incapable of shutting up for more than 2 seconds at a time. Now, that's correct. I suppose you could argue it's a talent, but I would put my money on it being down to her having an insufferable personality. Another one of them... See if you can guess who, guys. Another one of them never shuts up about K-pop. And even the other people on the podcast seem to hate it. Not to mention that his jokes, rather than to humor, only manage to infuriate listeners and have on more than one occasion made me want to punch a wall. Being introverted and quirky does not a personality make, and my goodness is it obvious with one of these people. She will bring up many different topics to try to seem knowledgeable, but is never able to go into detail, so it's just not convincing. And this is the case for several of the hosts, but this one in particular. One of them always tries to disguise her blatant rudeness and dickish attitude as comedy, and it just doesn't work. Not funny. One host might be the quietest person in the world. However, since everyone else is possibly the loudest person in the world, she is probably the least unsufferable out of all of them. Not that the bar is all that high, though. Surely that's Grace.
That's
right?
Grace. That's Grace. Love you, Grace.
One of the hosts apparently runs a Lord of the Rings podcast, but in spite of this, pronounces J.R.R. Tolkien's name wrong every time without fail.
Wait, one of the hosts runs a J.R.R. Tolkien podcast? What?
Yeah,
This
I've never heard
is the first I've heard of
life.
this. What?
I can't imagine what makes people feel like they can run a book podcast. Jesus Christ. Another host manages to bring up her job in pretty much every episode. Like, good for you that you have a job, but you don't have to bring it up every time. It makes it sound like you don't have a life, which, come to think of it, since you criticize a book series for kids for a significant portion of the time you spend not working, you probably don't. The last host never stops singing every time she comes on. Like, we get it. You were a theater kid, but you don't need to shove it down our throats every time you're on an episode. On the topic of shoving things down our throats, the sheer quantity of sex jokes on this podcast is absolutely unbearable. I cannot even begin to express to you how much it annoys me to hear these so-called adults fail to go even 5 minutes without referencing genitalia. You don't have to be such a dick about it, Mots.
Get it, dick.
I also feel compelled to bring up the fact that there are 2 people in this podcast named Mary. When your podcast claims to be inclusive and still has 2 people with possibly the whitest name in history, you should know you're doing something wrong. I guess the only positive thing I can say about this podcast is that at least every episode no longer has a large group of incredibly loud people surrounding a single microphone.
Ooh,
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but God bless the coronavirus.
Oh my
Whoa.
This unhinged mess of a podcast is a sorry excuse for a book club, and I curse the day I discovered it. I wish more than anything that I could get myself to stop listening. So, lesson of the day, the name of the podcast is extremely fitting, but only because no one should have to be subjected to its content and should stay away from it at all costs. 1 out of 5 stars. I would give it 0 if possible. Annoying as fuck, but I can't stop listening. I hate my life.
Wow.
That was a masterclass.
Yeah.
I am so
A master of
just-
rhetoric.
Oh.
Whenever Mott sends in an email like this, I get to the end of it and I have to remind myself that he's a non-native English speaker because this is some of the most... Mott is one of the most beautiful writers.
Shakespeare could never.
No, Shakespeare would have had to have made up 5 different words to make it fucking work. This is what talent looks like. This is to roast is to show love through anger, and this was just the best roasting I've ever.
This was basically
I've ever
like a
had.
warm, fuzzy hug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of hate.
Mott's-
And like I love it. I feel like an Arby's chicken.
I do feel loved. I feel love from mods. Let's just go through real quick. The main host, obviously, that's me.
K-pop
Always
is
drinking,
me.
smoking, and talking. K-pop is Andrew. Being introverted and quirky does not a personality make. Surely that's Haley. One of them tries to disguise her blatant rudeness and dickish attitude as comedy. I think that's Brooke.
I think so.
Yes.
I think you might have gotten that one correct, Tina. I think you got it correct.
Quietest person in the world, Grace.
Yep.
Mary Payton, Lord of the Rings podcast. Mary Payton, Lord of the Rings podcast. Who brings up their job in every episode?
Mary Clay?
Mary Payton?
Mary Payton, yeah.
Mary Clay has Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
so confused for a second.
And are we missing anyone, or is that all the hosts? Because Mott's he would make sure he left no one out.
Yeah, I think that's
I
everyone,
trust-
right?
He's inclusive in his roasting.
He's inclusive. Yeah.
Technically, he did leave out Mike, but Mike also has only ever been on like one.
Yeah, what? He doesn't come on anymore.
I mean, technically.
Although catch him in like a month.
Ooh.
Ooh, spoilers.
He's coming. He's coming. No, I already told the listeners that Brooke is bringing Mike and Freya on an episode. Freya, who I think just turned 6 months old last week.
Also known as the single greatest human alive right now.
Yeah, and probably forever.
Probably.
I mean, she'll have a sibling someday, but like, you never forget your first best friend's baby.
Exactly.
You should make those into t-shirts.
Okay, let's get into the episode. Let's get into the chapter. Chapter 31 of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Owls. OWLS's.
Get it? Get it? Like the animal.
Yeah, like the
Wait, what do
Owls,
they stand
I'll
for
buy it.
again? It's like
ordinary wizarding
Wizarding
levels.
oh,
I'll buy it. You know what I don't buy? Nastily exhausting wizarding tests.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
uh,
Most of this chapter is just standardized testing, so brace yourselves. So, as a reminder, last chapter was the fucking Grop chapter.
oh Jesus.
Adele, thoughts about Grop?
It
Uh-huh.
yeah. So when I first read it, I was like very confused. Back when I was young and spry
Right,
and
okay.
childish, I was like, oh my God, like Hagrid has a half brother who's a giant. Like that's crazy. And now rereading it, I'm like, wow, that bitch really could have written this better, but she didn't. It's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? For like, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to describe the word I'm looking
What?
for without sounding like a
know.
bad person. But it's like, look at this poor, stupid creature who is beneath me, even though they're like an
it's like
intelligent
demeaning?
creature.
It's pitiful.
Demeaning?
I definitely demeaning. I want like
Degrading.
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 Ooh.
My brain keeps saying noble savage, but like without the noble part.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
inhuman. I mean,
Yeah, dehumanizing, which
Yeah.
is also not quite right because
it's
he's
not- yeah.
technically not human. But the word dehumanizing comes from a planet where humans are the only intelligent
Yeah.
species, right? In this
Yeah.
world, humans are not the only intelligent species.
there's just like no sense of personhood. For
Yeah, it's just
Grop. It's very
and, like,
upsetting.
it's very upsetting. I kind of get it from Harry's perspective because he's like, what a crazy wild burden of a thing that is happening to me right now.
Although it's interesting seeing Harry and Hermione talk about Grop versus Ron. Because Ron, I specifically like wrote this down. Ron says it after hearing their story.
yeah.
And Harry and Hermione say him.
I wonder if that's two things. One, he didn't meet him, so
Yeah.
in his brain it's just like a scary giant thing. And or he's from the wizarding world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I feel like Ron also probably hates Grop because Grop steals his glory. That's how this chapter starts.
Oh my
Ron
God,
is like
Ron.
gushing about his Quidditch win, which good for him. And they let him talk for like the whole day before they break it to him. And like that's a good friend move.
Yeah, Ron deserves something. I mean,
yeah, they're like probably so bummed that this is the game they missed.
especially Harry. I bet they finally win.
Yeah,
He's like,
what? Oh my God! And Ron's like something about Cho, and Ron's like, I bet she cried.
yeah,
I
Harry
said that
out
wrong.
here like, oh, like I bet Cho cried. Didn't hear. Shut the fuck up, Harry. I don't want to hear you slandering for women showing their emotions, and then Ron's like, oh yeah, like she like threw her broom on the pitch, and I'm like, I would too. I would too.
There's that one chapter where Harry and Cho meet in the hallway and have a fight, and she's like getting mad at him, and he's like, "Don't cry about it," and she's like, "I won't."
I love this like casual like gaslighting of feeling our feelings. My God.
Well, and I recently reread Half-Blood Prince and Harry and Deathly Hallows, and Harry says like 3 or 4 times how grateful he is that Ginny is not weepy.
Yeah, Ginny as a character is really interesting. I'd love to talk about Ginny. I'd do like a character study on Ginny, just like
Ooh.
as someone with a brother, only a brother. It's like what it's like to be raised just with boys and like what it's like
me
showing
too.
emotions. Yeah.
I was raised with only brothers, and I wonder if anyone else. I'm thinking. No one else. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, she's not weepy. She probably is processing her emotions in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I felt like my brothers made me way more emotional by not engaging with me, you know? Like, I'd be like a little upset about something, and then they'd be a dick about it, and now I'm really upset about it.
Yeah. They know how to push your buttons.
Oh my God, yeah. My brother Michael used to call me Christinka until I cried.
Oh my God. One of my classmates used to call me Adele the Smell.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm kind of bonding. I'm feeling a moment with you here on the basis of, I don't know, like scent related.
I don't even smell that much. I'm 13. What do you want? So Hermione finally breaks it to Ron that they didn't actually watch the game. And he's pissed, and she just keeps talking. She's like, at the end of the story, he won't be pissed anymore.
I just need to steamroll you for a second.
Yeah, his face
And it
gets
works.
red. He's like, what?
I mean, I'd be fucking pissed if I were him. I get it. As a gut reaction, yeah.
Yeah.
So she tells him all about Grop, and Hermione and Harry are both doing this stupid thing where they're like, we promised we'd help. And we talked about this in the last chapter about ongoing informed consent. Like, they promised to help before they knew what they were getting themselves into. And they have every right to revoke that promise, but they don't feel like they, This is so unethical of Hagrid, and it's meaningless to the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just upsetting. And honestly, Ron's like, well, I guess we're breaking that promise. Like, Ron's just like, we're not doing that right now.
I kind of agree with Ron. They've got enough shit going on.
It's finals.
Yeah.
That's the next thing that happens in the book. It's finals.
It's finally here.
It's June for them. I wish.
Here, let me just scroll back up. Give me a second, Andrew. Where was it? Not to mention that his jokes, rather than to humor, only managed to infuriate listeners and have on more than one occasion made me want to punch a wall. Just wanted to a little reprise back to Motz's review there.
Makes me feel good about myself. Love it.
So we're not doing homework. We're only studying. It's June. Like, the owls are coming. I have a question, Adele.
Yeah.
In Canada, do you guys say study or revise or both?
Oh, we don't say revise.
Okay.
Yeah. Study. Yeah.
So do you have, what edition of the book were you reading? Did it say revise or study?
It said revise. So it's the British, like the ones that are distributed in Canada are the like British ones.
Okay.
But I have a really good friend from Australia, and she sometimes says revisions. Yeah,
Okay.
but I would say study. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely study here in America.
Yeah.
And so I'm reading I have the illustrated edition, and that's the British version. Well, I actually think it's some kind of interesting hybrid. Like sometimes it's not, like I don't think we have the U, the favorite color U.
Oh, you belongs in color.
But they do say stuff like revising and other interesting differences. So
Like maths.
the maths.
Not, yeah, we don't do that here. We're a lot more, like, in terms of, aside from spelling things, we speak the same way, pretty much. Aside, and accents, obviously,
That makes sense.
as Americans. Like, they're, like...
Proximity.
Yeah, aside from spelling things like gray or color or...
Yeah.
How do you say aluminum?
Oh, it's aluminum. Yeah.
Perfect.
I actually just
What
had a
about,
conversation about this with my Australian friend.
Oh.
Aluminium. Yeah.
What about do you put an S at the end of towards and afterwards?
I'm going towards something. No.
Okay. Skipping the S
yeah.
is American spelling, adding the S is British spelling.
Do you guys do Sean or Sean? Shone or Sean?
Shone. SHONE.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so funny because I'm reviewing an audiobook right now, and it is an American narrator, but she said Sean. And I was like, bitch just said that wrong, but I guess
Sean.
Still should correct it. It's American.
Yeah. So fun. Aluminium.
I love aluminium.
Aluminium.
We're revising. A black market of study aids
Yes.
pops up at Hogwarts.
Yes.
It reminds me of in college during finals, everyone had Adderall.
Adderall. Yes, everyone had Adderall. Or stupid Ernie McMillan out here giving me like flashbacks where he's like, oh, like I study like 8 hours a day. Like some days I get 10. Flashbacks to either being like, I stayed up till 3 a.m. studying, or like, I practiced the piano for 8 hours today. I'm like, that's you would not catch me doing that. In undergrad, I did not care that much.
Yeah, no way. I also remember that our college passed out 5-hour energies around finals time, probably to dissuade people from taking Adderall that wasn't prescribed to them.
My current university does that with Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
like,
man,
They get like sponsorships.
I'd love it if the Red Bull truck pulled
yeah,
up.
I'm not even joking. Like handing out Red Bull. It's a little.
Meanwhile, my
worrisome.
husband Sean is like, "Let me take an Adderall to study," and he's like, "I felt pretty good."
Oh my god.
It was a fortune telling. So Hermione's like confiscating like, I don't know what, like poop disguised as powders,
and like weird liquids
fucked
and
up shit.
stuff.
People
Honestly,
are stupid.
No, I'm kind of here for it. If you. If that was me, I would absolutely be making that side hustle. I would just like mix up some stuff together, especially if you brought something from like the Muggle world.
Oh, Adderall.
Oh my
No,
god!
dude, I'd go out and buy all those gas station boner pills that are just meth with like a bunch of herbs wrapped around them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know about the gas station meth boner pills, Andrew.
Like not like a sheet. Well, actually, even at Sheets, they have stuff
like
like it's sold as like what is it? It's usually sold as like either like an energy pill or like a sex enhancement pill or whatever. They'll call it something like that. All that it is, all that shit is like a chemical variation of meth with a bunch of like herbs and shit.
But does it
put
work?
into a pill?
Andrew,
I mean,
does
it's
it work?
meth. It's going to have the effects that
Does
meth
it give
will
you a
have
magic
on-
boner?
I don't know
Neither
about
confirming
no.
or denying.
I don't know. I can honestly say that I've never taken one of those.
Well, what do we
So
define as magic?
I think magnesium helps boners too, and the reason I think that is because magnesium also helps hypertension, and my dad gave me a bottle of magnesium and was like, I use this for boners, but I had too much of it.
You have to be really careful. You have to either get magnesium glycinate, which is the muscle relaxant, like it's a bit better and helps for sleep, or magnesium citrate, which is affectionately dubbed magnesium shit-trate. Because it just...
Ooh.
Makes you shit. She's doing an elaborate
Yeah,
gesture.
yeah. For the people who can't
shitting
do a very loose sort of waterfall.
The way that when you're talking about like how the coffee going right through you, that's the gesture that Adele is
like what's
making
that
right
expression? It's like so watery that if you shot through a mesh screen door, it wouldn't even touch the wires.
I've never heard that in my life.
I've never heard that either, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Anyway, so these students are eating some. I bet the bathrooms of Hogwarts are just people are throwing up probably.
Well, and I personally, since we're on the potty talk, I personally have like anxiety. I'm prone to anxiety shits.
That's very brave of you to share.
It's
a safe space.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
She was terrified to share it, but she pushed through.
Well, I've always been
pushed
prone
through it.
Oh, stop. Okay. I've always been prone to like nervous tummy aches. So like I wake up in the morning, I have like the day of a special event, I have like a horrific stomach ache. And then as the day goes on, if I continue to be anxious, I drink my coffee. I have my little bagel or whatever.
Yeah.
The nervous shits. So the exam schedules get announced. It's like so boring to read. Like, we're going to do the writing exams in the morning and the practicals in the afternoons.
I do love little example of some more nepotism, but this time in like an academic, like examining way. This Mr. Draco Malfoy being like, oh, well, like my dad knows the examiner of like who. And not to go on like a rant, but that's actually how like universities work, and it's very frustrating.
What do you mean?
Oh my God, it's like who gets in?
I'm not an academic.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you need to watch the documentary Operation Varsity Blues. And it's about the college admissions scandal. And it's
I was on a water polo team at one point too.
Oh, yeah. And it's all about like who you know and like making donations. So there's like ways that you can get into like Ivy Leagues by making your family makes a donation or something. Or there's like a side door. That's called a back door. And there's a side door of like falsifying and like bribing like sports teams and stuff to get in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's
You should
wild.
watch it. It's really, really good.
Okay.
And then like the front door is like just blind applying, right? Yeah. So this Draco's giving very much like, I'm going to get
God.
good on my exams because I know this old lady, like, ugh. Yeah.
The most unethical thing I did on my college applications was, and this isn't even unethical at all because the school told me to, but my friends and I in high school had we formed a classic rock appreciation club.
Yeah.
But the acronym for that is CRACK, which is what we called it. But the school would not let us name it CRACK, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So they made us name it the Social Sciences Club. So on my college applications, I got to write founder of the Social Sciences Club.
Oh, that sounds
That's
pretty good.
fantastic.
We just sat around listening to Def Leppard and
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
I love that.
I like both of those things. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
We just wanted an excuse to not go home after school. So the Sunday night before exam start is tense. We watch the examiners come in. Professor Marchbanks is so old, she literally administered to Dumbledore his newts. What?
Yeah, I love that the obvious thing to say here would be to say like his owls, right? Because this is an owl exam that she could have been like, I administered his owls, and I can't help but think that like when writing it, that she was like, no, we need to make it more believable. His newts. It was 2 years later. He's 2 years younger than you thought, this person is 2 years younger.
So she's like oldest Sin then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is she now like the canonically oldest person in the Harry Potter universe?
That's a good
I'm gonna
question.
Yeah. Because like
Professor
I thought Dumbledore
Marchbanks.
was.
Oh my God, age. Everyone Googles age.
Yeah. Wow. Kind of
When
a queen.
especially if she was administrating that exam back then, because like they've set it up as the people that administer these are all super duper old. So have they just held onto these positions forever and a day, or
Queen
was she
retire.
already old when she gave Dumbledore that exam?
Yeah. Which
She's at least 130, according to harrypottercompendium.fandom.com. Oh my God, wait, there's a test I fucking hate the wizarding world. I just hate the audacity of the author to create so much extra bullshit for absolutely no reason and then never working on herself as a person. But apparently there's the wombat tests, the wizard's ordinary magic and basic aptitude test. What?
Is that
it could
the
be sat
test?
by muggles also?
Is that the test to get into Hogwarts? Because this
Oh
is
my
like
God,
a
I
big
have
thing
no
when people are
idea.
like, oh, like, will they, like, how does Ron know how to do math if he went to Hogwarts at 11? Like, is it like one of those kind of things? Like testing your knowledge before you go to Hogwarts to make
Wait,
sure you're not
fucking
like you are illiterate?
There's like a sample test. This might be fake. Hold on. I have no idea what's happening to me right now.
To wombats.
Nope. Obviously, J.K. Rowling put it on her stupid fucking website.
Sigh.
Good Lord.
Anyway, I'm out of here.
But
And I dip.
Marchbanks sounds like a legend, an icon, and
Yeah.
a moment.
I love her. She's obviously like a little hard of hearing, and I expected her
What?
to pull out an ear trumpet because I fucking love an appearance from an ear trumpet.
Ooh.
That shit is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Love a
Which
good ear
exam does
trumpet.
she proctor? I forget.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah. I did not write down that much detail.
It wasn't Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Maybe they're all proctoring all
yeah,
of them.
I
Oh,
think they all proctor
true.
all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say that Draco's whole thing about like I know this one examiner is also proven to be kind of completely worthless because as they walk up for the charms, Flitwick like chooses who goes where.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's
So
like,
unless
a
Flitwick
review.
is also like unless every professor is also in on it and knows to send you to that one reviewer,
Yeah.
then you have like what a one in however many of them there are chance of it applying to any of your individual topics. Like
Well,
Yeah.
and then the astronomy exam only has one proctor, which we'll see later, because it's just walking around making sure everybody's quiet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess Draco's hoping that like the examiner he knows would talk to the other examiners and be like,
Yeah.
you see that kid, you better pass
Whatever, man.
them."
You should have done some revision.
Yeah, you should have revised.
So it's Hell Week.
Yeah, basically. They're like in the trenches.
There's a lot of words, but here's what happens. Monday is Charms, Tuesday is Transfiguration, Wednesday is Herbology, Thursday is Defense Against the Dark Arts. Like it's like 4 pages at least, but
In herbology.
note about Defense Against the Dark Arts, the examiner is like, I'll give you a bonus point if you can do a Patronus, which is not something that you were supposed to have learned at this school, but I think that you're famous and I've heard this cool thing about you and I'll give you a bonus point. And Harry's like, fuck yeah, I'll take that bonus point. That's
Give me
fun.
that
That's
point.
total favoritism.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because the other kids in the DA can also do a Patronus, but nobody knows about it.
Yeah. Harry's star factor working a little bit. And if I remember his owls results, which I do strangely for some reason.
Yeah.
He does.
I think he gets an O or whatever.
Yeah. And then he does for this one.
It is showing favoritism because you were falsely accused of a crime and had to go in front of the high wizarding like board of the government to defend your right to go back to school. I like it is favoritism, but it is kind of
I
like
don't
you
think
had to
those
go
things
through
are
some
related.
bullshit to get that favoritism.
I don't think those things are related at all.
I think they should just. I wonder if there's like. I wish there was a way for them all to test blind, like not know who the student is.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be
Or, like,
behind a screen
would've-
or something. I don't know.
Oh, and look at that stag Patronus. I wonder who that is.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, that's true.
Well, or if the proctor had been like, okay, I'm not going to give you extra credit, but just because I think it's cool,
Yeah.
can you show me your Patronus? And then Harry's like, wow, it would be really nice if he gave me extra credit for that. But the proctor isn't saying it, you know?
I think that bitch just wanted an excuse to be like, don't forget, Harry's special. And Harry
Well, and Umbridge is
cool.
watching.
I know, like she could have been like, what is this?
We need to give Harry an opportunity to flipper the bird, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's also the possibility that the guy just proctor. He knows Harry just aced the shit out of this, right? So
It's
like,
like,
it
it
could
goes
be
from 100% to 101%.
right. So it could be
Yeah.
a situation where like literally it he says I'm going to give you a point, but
I'm gonna
the
give you
point
the
might
O.
also not matter at all, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what because I would imagine someone who's been doing it this long is a fairly reputable person, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's a fucking wizard.
That's true. I don't trust any
Flawless.
wizards. I don't trust any witches, except I would trust Madame Marchbanks. I don't know. I kind of like
Because
her.
we love women.
Yeah, well, spoiler. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Spoiler for personal life.
Or if Professor McGonagall was proctoring these exams, I would trust her to be completely impartial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just makes
Dude,
me
nope.
sad. Given that,
I
okay,
know.
so,
Nope.
but then they get the weekend, right? They're like they have a little
They get
weekend
the
break.
weekend, and they're like, let's not revise
This
for
whole-
10 fucking seconds.
Whole time, Hermione, she's already been high strung. She's already like tightly wound. Not only is she like very busy, very accomplished, looking out for her two dumbass best friends, she's also, a prefect, and she's looking out for other people. Umbridge, she now has exams, and these exams will determine her career, and she has to do well in them. So she is like, I bet she was just like vibrating at like high velocity down the hallway, just like so stressed. That girl probably has like TMJ. She's probably clenching her jaw at night.
I think she probably doesn't poop for 10 straight days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a line somewhere where Harry and Ron are laughing about something, and then Hermione walks up and Harry stops laughing immediately in case it annoys her. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
So, were y'all more on the stressed side or not when it came to like exams?
Not. I never cared about school that much.
Okay, yeah, same.
It depends. It depended on the exam. I cared a lot about school, and I was like very much like a library rat. So I would
A total Hermione.
Yeah.
You look
Adele
so
didn't poop for 10
sad.
days.
Survived off of Red Bull. In my undergrad, definitely like a library rat. But for the writing of the exam, I don't know. This is gonna sound totally bad. I was always so confident that I was gonna do well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that way about like when I got to my higher level English classes, we did not do exams, we did papers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so those I fussed over, but I was never stressed because I am a very strong writer.
Yeah, I would do this thing called I call them bullshit papers, and then I
yeah.
give myself 24 hours
quite
or
familiar.
48 hours to write. So
Oh my God.
my most recent one was like last term, and it was 20 pages in 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, I love.
Wow.
Don't go to grad school, kids. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I was never a stressed person. And part of it is just my personality. Because by the time that I'm walking into the room, like you either know it or you don't.
That's the
Exactly.
thing. That's what I
And-
was thinking about Hermione through this whole chapter. Is like at this point, girl, I think putting down the book will do you more
a
good than
lot
picking
more
up
good.
the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so
she's the type of person to be consistently like doing her homework, going to class. So like,
Yeah, like you got it, girl. If I were her, if I had done as much as her as me, my personality, Christina, I would not have studied because I'd be like, I got it.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like when you're talking about like when I got into my major's higher level classes, I don't think I read like the readings and stuff, but I don't think I ever actually like sat down and reviewed notes or anything. Like it just it's something I was interested in, so I just fucking paid attention and I learned it in class, you know?
I definitely studied notes in history
well,
type classes
yeah.
because it's like memorization, and then always like my math and science classes, I'd be like weeping, desperate, not out of stress, but because I did not understand, and it was like exam time, and I still didn't understand. Like I learned it for the test 6 months ago or whatever, and it's like gone from my brain now.
I haven't taken a science class since sophomore year of high school.
Oh my god, high school?
Yeah.
Whoa! I
And-
did take fucking biology and chemistry in college.
Yes, and I haven't taken a math class since junior year of high school. So
Congratulations.
Good lord.
yeah,
You
and I'm
figured it out.
dating a chemical biologist. So
Oh my god, wait, what a power couple.
yeah, so I frequently prove my extensive knowledge in science. Yeah.
Wait. Let me show you how to do long division really quickly.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I don't remember how to do long division, and I was like,
I do. It's because I took a math class more recently than you, even though I'm 10 years older
I feel
than
like
you.
I should review this. Yeah, I'm really just
Long division is easy.
Well, it's
I'm
like you
super
put them-
good. I'm super good at PEMDAS. Like I got you on
Order of
multiplication,
operations.
Yeah.
division, like fucking parentheses. I'm good at, I can do it. I can do fractions and decimals, and that's it.
Oh, I fuck with quadratics.
Until I worked in retail.
Quadratics. Y
Oh, no.
equals mx plus b squared. When you make
Yeah.
like a
No,
I
no.
love like plotting. It was like a
You like that?
it was like
Algebra
a connect
2
the
is great,
dots.
Tina. Just-
Connect the
yeah.
dots.
Anyway,
Ooh, you make a little
I'm
like
mad at you guys now.
yeah. And then I dissected a frog in grade 10 science because we don't actually call
Oh.
it freshman, sophomore and stuff. I would say that for your benefit. We call it grade 10, grade 9. But yeah,
okay.
did a
So
frog.
We can follow. We had to dissect a fucking fetal pig when I was in high school,
Oh.
and I was a vegetarian at the time also, and like my teacher wouldn't give me an alternative assignment, and I had to take the 0, and I sat the whole class outside in the hallway crying.
Oh,
Isn't that fucked?
That's dark.
Oh, thanks.
No, that's kind of sad too for you. Oh.
I think so too, and that's when I stopped liking science and math.
Yeah. Wait, if there was like a dissection component in the wizarding worlds, would this fall under potions, or would this fall under like defense against the dark arts, or would it fall under like herbology?
Or care of magical creatures.
Oh my god, it's care of magical creatures. but like
Yeah.
But, like-
Actually,
biology.
with
advanced.
with the way that wizards look at
Dissection.
things, I'd bet it would be potions.
I bet it would be potions.
'Cause I bet they would
yeah.
look at it as preparing an item for
Yeah. Get that
the
spleen, baby.
thing. They wouldn't
Yeah.
look at it as like, how does the life function? It's-
Right. They don't care.
Yeah.
That's for
Unless they're
muggles.
looking at like the dissecting like a dead, I don't know, unicorn or something to learn more about like the properties.
In the chapter career advice, Professor McGonagall rattles off, I think, or like maybe when they're looking at maybe it's Hermione rattles it
With,
off.
like, the
Somebody
pamphlets?
rattles off all the new classes you
Yeah.
need to become a healer.
Oh.
And to me that's like biology.
Yeah, I feel like that would be dissection, like magical creature dissection.
It's actually Ron, and I'm going to read the quote. Well, I don't fancy healing. It says here that you need at least an E at newt level potions, herbology, transfiguration charms, and defense against the dark arts. I mean, blimey, they don't want much, do they? But it doesn't say care of magical creatures, so at no point are these healers, I think, figuring out what happens inside the human body.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
since a lot of the things you use in potions are like pieces of dead magical creatures. So like how did they I'm suddenly so fascinated into this.
I'm
like,
fascinated too. I feel like there has to be. I feel like logically, and I understand the book series we're reading, but just in my little head canon,
logically.
I feel like there has to be some kind of magic anatomy class because
Yeah.
surely how healers would look at a human body cannot be like the only thing you would talk about in this class. Like, I feel like you could talk about a lot of different things. Learn like maybe like where magic comes from in wizards, like biologically.
Yeah.
Sorry, magicians. I forgot the gender neutral term.
I feel like in the movie, the third movie, when they're learning about werewolves, Snape puts up like this Leonardo da Vinci. You know that Leonardo da Vinci drawing of like
Yeah,
a
what's
human?
it called?
The trans.
No.
It's
It's like
human-
the
Vitruvian.
Vitruvian.
Yeah.
Vitruvian.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But
I've read Dan Brown too.
I'm getting this image that's in the movie, but it's like of a werewolf.
But it's a werewolf. Yeah, that's it. So that is a movie memory, but it's a good one.
But it could
and
be
that's
like-
when in the
yeah.
background he's like, werewolf means wolf, man, werewolf, man, wolf.
Man and wolf, werewolf, man, wolf.
Like
Yeah.
in the background. It's like, what the fuck kind of a linguistics lesson
But
is
maybe it could be like an upper level defense against the dark arts. I don't know. Do we have any like biologist listeners? I really want to know more about this like dissecting, because if we're learning about like also wand cores are like what, like heart of the unicorn or something. How did we slice into the unicorn and find out that the heart was viable?
Hagrid and
Hagrid's
his
just like
crossbow.
with this massive rusty bloody saw, just like ugh.
I mean,
Crying.
let's be honest. I can completely see fucked up older wizards just being like, let's just try this. Saw off a heart of a unicorn.
Oh my
and
God.
That's pretty
wrap
much
it in wood.
science. That's
We're
like
getting
modern
body horror.
science. That's how we got there. People in
my
like
God.
the 1700s were like, Ooh, what does this do?
Oh my god. Medicine is cringy enough. Old school medicine? Absolutely not. Go
Yeah.
look up, if you want something grotesque, go look up how chainsaws were invented.
Oh, I knew you were going to bring this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that ruined me. I've never been the same person after learning that. It's fucked. So only look it up if you are like, I would like to learn something fucked.
Or the humors. Bleeding people because of the humors.
Oh my god. See, that to me is fascinating because it's not as visual as the chainsaw.
Yeah, it's more like alchemy.
But the four humors are like very interesting to me.
How often were they coughing up bile that they thought that there were equal amounts of it?
Dude, it was the
there's
olden days.
And there were two types of bile.
Like-
Blood, black bile, yellow bile,
Yeah.
and phlegm are the four humors.
How much phlegm were they coughing up?
I think
Hey,
That
right
they
now I
thought
got a
there's
lot. Come
equal
on.
amounts of this in blood in you at all times.
I'm reading this book right now called Smoke by Dan, I think it's like Alet or like Aelet or something like that, Avalet. And it is set in like a Victorian England, and it's in a world where like people make smoke from their bodies when
Ooh.
they're being emotional or like unethical, you know?
yeah.
And it's very interesting, and there's a fuck ton of coughing in that book. So much bile.
Ugh. I feel like to be a healer in Harry Potter, would you have to do like a residency? Like how
Yeah.
Yeah, I
medical-
think that's the only way, because they didn't fucking learn anything in Hogwarts
I know.
to go
So would you
become a
go
healer.
to just go to St. Mungo's and you'd be like the intern and learn more classes there, and then I guess become like a healer? All
Yeah.
these things Harry could have done, but no.
Yeah.
He wants to become a cop, a wizard cop.
You know,
Boo.
Boo.
it is interesting how many occupations in the wizarding world are literally like
We're
just
doing a bonus episode about this.
just
Ooh.
wizard like wizarding version of whatever.
You've
right?
heard of
Like,
Rock.
the
Get ready
wizard-
for
it-
Wizard Rock.
Seriously, well, like I own a shop. It doesn't matter what the fuck you sell. Like you're a shopkeeper.
Nope.
Like-
magic shop. Totally
Magic.
different.
Exactly. Somehow magic shop means you don't need to know how to do addition.
Math.
What about like
Yeah.
magic lawyer? Oh, magic lawyer. Magic accountant.
Wait, there's a fun
Magic-
fun TikTok where
Oh, don't talk about magic accountants.
The dudes
We
are magic
shouldn't
lawyers.
go
Actually,
there.
yeah.
or the magic OSHA guy.
Oh, that person, that poor soul.
Yeah.
That they just start munching anti-anxiety medication from the time they start their day.
In the first episode of Bob's Burgers, the health inspector shows up, and Bob and Linda are in the basement grinding meat, and the health inspector is just writing down everything that's wrong, and the kids are just trolling him, and he screams, "Where are the adults?"
Yep.
And I feel like that would be the OSHA instructor in Hogwarts.
Oh God, yeah.
I really want like a Veep style like sitcom of the Ministry of Magic, but it's just like everyone like politicking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like doing like stupid bureaucratic shit. And we see a little bit of that in the 7th book, but
Yeah, I would love that, and I would also love like a workplace comedy about the teachers at
Yeah.
Hogwarts, like the events of this story through the eyes of the
Yeah.
teachers.
Just them sitting around using every legal form of drug they can to
Yeah.
just get over the bullshit they had to go through.
could be like conversations in the staff room. What goes on in
Yeah. Okay, sorry guys, we actually aren't done with our exams yet.
there? No, it's time for the
Monday's potions.
yeah.
Tuesday's care of magical creatures. Great. That was like 10 pages of this fucking chapter. So Wednesday is astronomy, which means that they have a written exam in the morning and the practical at night, at midnight. And so in between, they do divination. It goes bad.
It goes very bad.
And Ron and Harry are both like, well, fuck it. Am I right? And they're like, yeah, fuck it.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, good for them.
I'm so tired of reading about divination that, like, thank God.
Yeah,
They're
it's
done.
done. We're done. We never have to do it again. So, honestly, fuck this midnight astronomy schedule.
Yeah, it's
I
exam
would
week.
be really bad at that. Well, and also just like they also do it during the week. I think like the class, they do it at midnight all year.
That's true.
Yeah.
And, like fuck that.
That's true.
It's like Tuesday. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
No, you aren't.
Yeah, I get sleepy at like 10 p.m. So that would be kind
That's
of a
where that school
struggle.
takes their Red Bull is to the astronomy
Oh,
classes.
yeah. personally, not to like nerd out, but I do think it would be a cool enough class for me to stay awake for it because
Oh yeah.
like astronomy is like super dope. Although aside from like what is that class? Aside from just like looking through the telescope, identifying like they're plotting, right? Like they're plotting
Yeah.
I think
stars.
that's why
And
I don't like the idea of astronomy is because I have horrific vision and like I can't I
You
would not
plus
be
a
able to
telescope.
discern heavenly bodies. Yeah, like I can't with that.
but like aside from plotting the stars and planets, what is
I have no
is there
idea.
any magic? Magic.
Well, I think that in a normal, that's the thing. It's like, where's the magic? Because talking about astronomy IRL is very fascinating. I
Yeah.
took an astronomy class in college, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
A little hard for me to understand. But also today I watched the Morgan Freeman narrated documentary, Our Universe, and that's more on my level. Talking about fucking nuclear fusion and shit, like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
The Large Hadron Collider.
And that shit is so cool, but it does seem like they're just fucking they're just going full fire ends. Mars is bright tonight. Or whoever said that.
Yeah, that's an easy exam to just be like, Venus is there, Pluto is
Yeah.
there.
And I get the impression that the class is probably one of those where it's a class that you need for other classes. Because, like, if you have a potion that needs to be done when a certain thing is in a certain
yeah.
place, or if you're in divination, you might need to be able to figure out phases of things.
Or
and
even
stuff.
herbology, maybe like a certain plant
Yeah.
only grows
Yeah.
under the light
What-
of the Venus.
Exact. Yeah,
I'm
you need
editing
to-
a book right now with witches in it, and there's a lunar witch in it, and she can only like do certain spells or potions at certain times of the moon cycle. That's fucking Cursed Coven by Cara Badalamenti coming out later this year from Wildling.
So
Keep an
she's
eye
a
out for it.
waterbender. Her power comes from the moon.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, but she can do other stuff
Okay.
too. But I guess that makes sense though. Well, because even during like a new moon where you don't see the moon at all, she can do certain things.
Okay. What about
Yeah,
during
it's
eclipse?
cyclical. I don't know. Oh my god, I should tell the author to
Yeah.
think about adding that.
Book 2.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
wait. I'm emailing Kara right now.
You're
Now I
writing a
wanna know.
post-it
Now I
note to
wanna
email
know.
her about it
I'm writing a
later.
post-it note,
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So astronomy,
So-
they're charting. They're charting.
Yeah, they're fucking charting. Who charted?
They charted all over the place.
Okay, they're plotting. They're
Who
plotting.
plotted right in the middle of the floor?
We have a strict rule at Hogwarts. As of 1880 something, you can only chart if you're in the astronomy tower.
We're gazing at the moons.
Yeah. And Venus, Harry keeps losing Venus, I think. But
Metaphor.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Metaphor.
yeah. Where's my Venus? Where's my power? Or inspire your, I don't know. They're just astronomizing. So the school's front doors open like many floors beneath them. And a bunch of people, including Umbridge, a familiar like stocky figure or whatever.
Squattish.
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 I made it nicer.
Yeah. No, I just want to point out squattish.
Yeah, squat-ish.
From all the way up on like what? They're on like the fucking like North Astronomy Tower, and Harry can recognize it's Umbridge.
My headcanon is that Harry Potter does not need glasses. He doesn't have enough glasses. He doesn't have enough glasses issues for someone who wears glasses and needs
Yeah.
them, and he can always see everything like this. He's like, if I in the half light, no,
Yeah.
no, I can't see the
see
squattish
shit
figure
in
on the pitch
dark.
black grounds. No,
Yeah. Christina gets me. I also have terrible vision. I can't see shit in the dark. I shouldn't be like driving in the dark either. Like,
I'm the kind of person where if I'm walking out onto an unfamiliar staircase, I take my foot and tip tap tap to make sure that the step starts where I think it does.
I respect
Guys,
that.
she even does that in the daylight. That's
I do that in my
crazy.
own house.
Yeah.
Lights all on, 2 out in the afternoon, and she's tap, tap, tapping.
Well, if the stairs are crazy, I do it in the daytime because sometimes stairs are painted a certain way or they're like hardwood and like the grain's all going the same way or something, and it's really hard to tell where are the stairs. Okay, it's a me problem. That's fine. So there's a big roar. Harry sees them go down. Nobody else seems to notice. There's a big roar, a Hagrid roar, and now everyone's like, what the fuck? There's a bang. Everyone comes out of the hut. And 6 magicians are trying to take down Hagrid. But you can't take down Hagrid.
It's a bad bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I hate this for him, but it is cool. And even Harry's like, I've never seen him go full tilt into his rage mode before. This is kind of scary.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I had the most objection to the what does he say? He says something like, "How do you want some of this and some
Take
of
some of that."
Yeah,
Very
take
cartoony.
some of that." Like it's like, yeah, exactly. I was like, "Are you Bluto? Like, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Like, there's
Well-
some for you.
Maybe he no, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe he knows the students are up on the astronomy
He's like,
tower.
"We're doing a show."
He's like, I'm gonna say something so they know I'm okay.
I'm still an educator first. There's no need for me to
That's Hagrid
curse.
to a T.
Or to yeah, exactly. He's not going to say bad words in front of those kids up there. He's going to say, "How about another one? How about that?"
Until he goes full John Wick.
Yeah.
He tosses somebody like 10 feet. And then like the
because
person
they knock out his dog, and
Well,
he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm mad now."
I'm just going to say
Yeah.
it. Justified.
Oh,
Justified.
justified.
Who are these goons?
100%.
Who are they?
Yeah, who are the goons? Because they're definitely not the fucking test proctors.
No. They're just like Umbridge Goonies.
That's a great question. Like, did the ministry send extra people with?
They
the
sent
proctor?
oars, yeah. Didn't
They're
didn't they?
oars.
I think so. Isn't
I don't think
Dawlish
it says
an oar?
anywhere. Oh, Dawlish is an oar.
my
You're right,
God.
because they do say his name. But
They do say his
don't-
name, and he's one of the ones that showed
Acab.
up with the execution, wasn't he?
Yeah, ACAB for sure, including
Yeah.
Harry fucking Potter.
Yeah, these R's suck. Tonks would never.
Do you think Hagrid kills that guy that he
Yeah.
slaps 10 feet?
Yes, I think so. I'm here for it. Yeah,
Okay.
I want murder on top of Hagrid's like long resume.
Okay. So the front door opens again. I can't with this. Okay. McGonagall goes shouting down the lawn, screaming about "How dare you!" Which I love her so much. She gets immediately taken down, but I love her so much. Like, she's a fucking Gryffindor. She does
Queen.
exactly what she thinks is right. She's not afraid to put herself out there.
Which I think we can all also agree to. She did not have her wand in her hand, or this
No.
would have gone very differently,
Yeah,
right? Like,
who woke
She's
her
bitching.
up? Like she must
They-
have been sleeping, right? Like
Yeah.
I genuinely think this is 4 cops attacking an unarmed,
Elderly woman.
elderly person because
I feel like McGonagall was probably awake, facilitating the exam, maybe, since it's still ongoing, and she,
true.
even though Umbridge is the headmistress, McGonagall's the person who is accomplishing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like Umbridge thinking to be like, I'm going to do this while McGonagall is busy with the exam, and I'm going to bring oars because I am racist as shit and assume that violence will happen, and then I'm going to cause that violence and
Yeah.
pretend like it was forced upon me.
Yeah,
And
it's
McGonagall
fucked.
is all she's saying is she's like, stop this, like this is unethical, like that, like
Yeah.
this, and they literally respond. They're just like, oh, running at me, bam.
Yeah,
like-
they hit her with 4 stunning spells.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's when Professor fucking Tofty, or whatever his
Yeah.
name is like, oh shit.
he's like, oh goodness gracious.
Because this whole time he's been like, okay, guys, I understand there's a commotion, but you're in a fucking exam. But at this point, he's like, are you fucking... I feel like
Yeah.
he's like, I'm not safe here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I should get out of here. It's time for me to retire.
yeah, and she gets like hit, and she gets like levitated up with the force of the stunning spells, and then she like falls. It's all very dramatic, and
Yeah, it's
unfortunately, we
sad.
don't know how it makes Harry feel. I'd love to know how it made Harry feel.
Wow, you're right about that. He's like,
He's
well,
like, wow,
that was
I'm
my test."
watching this like mentor figure who has given me so much advice and care, like possibly just get killed.
I feel like Harry's like, the last time I saw her, she yelled. Because I feel like Harry doesn't care about McGonagall nearly as much as the reader does.
Yeah, true.
Or as much as McGonagall cares about him.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. She's the definition of tough love. She's like,
Yeah.
you're an idiot, and I need to tell you that because I feel partially responsible for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't bother telling you that you're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot, but you're one of my idiots. So
Yeah.
damn it,
Yeah.
we're going to do this.
So Hagrid picks up Fang and runs into the forest.
King.
Like a boss.
But he's not safe in there because of the centaurs. I'm like worried about it.
Does he run out the gates or does he run into the forest?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. He does run out the gates. My notes say into the forest, but he does run out the gates.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe he's going to Hogsmeade.
He's probably gonna like link up He probably has like a hidey hole. Well, maybe he's going to Hogsmeade to link up with Aberforth.
Hogshead. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to go there,
shit.
take a flu
Le
somewhere.
Resistance.
Wow. Okay, love it. When they go back to the common room after the exam, everyone's awake because of the noise, and they stay up late talking about it.
And they
So,
curse
like,
Umbridge.
if you're a student at this point, you're not just like going to sleep, right? Like, if I'm at a boarding school, I'm rioting. That's bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
These are
I am
exactly like the
fucking
rioting
shit
type
up.
of kid.
Yeah. Although if
I
there was
don't-
any house to riot, it would be Gryffindor.
It would be Gryffindor, and it would
But
be
Fred and
because
George
you
are
shot.
gone.
Yeah. Fred and
their
George.
instigators
Yeah.
are gone.
Yeah.
They would've-
When I was a kid, I probably would have let something like this happen without taking action. In my
That's a good
adulthood, I would take further steps, but as a kid, I probably would be like, "Oh shit," and then probably just be worried that my parents would come get me and take me away from the action.
Yeah.
You'd be worried that you get a bad score and your parents would be mad because you got distracted.
Yeah, at 15, I feel like, I don't know, at 15, I had a really fucked up high school and like a lot of shit was going on. And like the adults weren't doing anything about it. But at 15, I didn't have like I just feel like the confidence or just the maturity to realize that like you can do something about it. So
Honestly, I rag on Harry Potter at every turn for not taking any action at all about anything ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it is true that when I was kids and when a lot of us were kids, we just like don't know that is a choice that we have.
yeah, I was just like, oh my God, this sucks. Hopefully like an adult intervenes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the kids essentially have been, it's tricky to say because I'm like, oh, I wish like the other professors at Hogwarts like did a better job of protecting their students. But
yeah,
also,
like I think about Flitwick and Sprout all the time because I don't feel like we see enough of them doing anything.
But also, like, how much can you do? We're looking right now at like educators getting like their classrooms like supervised and stuff like that in a bunch of like the states, right? Like, how do you go against a governmental organization while you're trying to protect like the kids that you teach?
Yeah,
It's all very real.
Yeah. So on Friday, he has his history of magic exam, and he's not good at it, and he's very tired and bored, and he keeps zoning out.
And hot. He's very sputty too.
Yeah.
Sweaty boy.
So then he zones all the way out. He's having a vision. What do you think? He's having a fucking vision. We're on page 95 of my Order of the Phoenix notes. He's having a vision of the fucking Department of Mysteries.
Yep.
I'm so sick of it.
The
We're about to
long
get there.
corridor. Harry, we know about the long corridor.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it.
It's like a high schooler down a hallway.
I know.
There's like a big cathedral sized room with all the shelves. He goes to a certain spot and he sees Sirius Black there on all fours looking hurt. And Harry's like Voldemort in this vision. Voldemort, Harry's like, Crucio, give me this a weapon thing. Give me this thing because I can't, but you can.
Yeah.
And Sirius is like getting fucked up. And
Yeah.
Bring
wakes
me
up.
that pronoun. Bring it to me. That.
It. Yeah, so then Harry wakes up screaming and leaves. He's like, I wasn't going to pass this test anyway.
Yeah, he like falls to the ground screaming.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
Which,
left yet.
not
He's
the-
just falling, screaming on the floor.
It's not the first time that's happened to him. I think
Yeah.
it's the second time.
Have you all ever
Yeah.
seen someone in real life go from sleeping to falling to screaming? Because that would be terrifying. That's not a series of
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the order of operations for those of
The screaming's alarming.
The screaming. I would equate it to someone having some sort of like seizing episode.
Yeah.
But the screaming is concerning. I don't know.
The screaming is concerning.
Harry
Adele.
Potter. The screaming is concerning. I just, I'm reading this, and before that, we got like a little like, don't you remember about occlumency? Well, Harry
Yeah.
sure does, but he's hoping nobody remembers that he doesn't have to take his lessons. And I was like, I wonder if this will come back in a couple pages. Oh, look, it does.
There
So
she is.
I don't care if Harry's screaming. I have no sympathy for him. Honestly, one of my biggest gripes with him in this book is the whole occlumency thing. Everyone told him, hey,
Yep.
Voldy's gonna like slither into that mind.
Well, listen. They don't tell him that. They tell him that he needs to close his mind and he shouldn't be seeing what Voldemort is seeing. At no point is anyone like, because he's going to try to fuck with you. Because he's going to try to fuck with you. You should be on the lookout for him trying to fuck with you.
But it's a two-way door. I would expect the logic. Well, you know what? Why I know. But I don't know. Just doors are both ways. If I get what
you're saying, because it should have been very obvious to Harry. It should have been
talked
very
to
obvious to Harry
it.
that nothing good can come of this, right? Like
he's an idiot, dude. You have to
and that's
assume
the
he's
thing.
an idiot.
Right. That like the biggest thing that could have led to the downfall of the wizarding world was not telling Harry enough information to make an informed decision.
But I'm confused because this is his
he was
sworn
too
enemy.
smart.
Like Harry hates Voldemort. Harry hates Voldemort, right? Like he even at 15, he knows, especially after the end of book 4, he knows that like he hates Voldemort. He will do like anything he can to like stop Voldemort. He doesn't know what that looks like. But if that meant doing your little exercises, like when you go to the physiotherapist and the physiotherapist is like, did you do your exercises? And you're like, no. But if you just do your little exercises, like wouldn't he be doing everything to defeat his sworn enemy? I
think he like doesn't understand the depth of like what is happening here. Like I think he doesn't actually understand what some actual repercussions could be. And he's been having this dream about the corridor for like fucking 10 months or something. And I feel like on some level he feels like it like belongs to him, you know?
Yeah. And I mean,
he doesn't understand yet how this whole thing works. Like, sorry to be like literally defending Harry Potter.
No, this is
like
good.
That.
I'm trying to. This is good. This is good. You're taking a new
stance. He doesn't understand like exactly how the connection works. Like when he, like watched Nagini killing Arthur Weasley, he was like, I was like in his body. He he doesn't understand that he's looking at things like through Voldemort's eyes, like consistently. I think he like really doesn't understand. He doesn't think about things. He doesn't confide things in smart people. Like he just doesn't understand what's happening.
Plus, I think occlumency and legitimacy, because they're the two halves of the same coin. It's got such an association with Snape that he's probably just like, oh, glad that business is over. I don't want Snape to teach me.
Those classes are horrific. Like Harry hates them and is awful at them and gets like zero constructive feedback. So like,
but at least he did have those exercises. What was it like before you go to sleep? You try to like block off your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the one thing he could have done.
I do think, what was it that like Moody, the fake Moody always said to him? Constant vigilance.
Constant vigilance.
I do feel like Harry
you're right. He did not learn that lesson.
I just, if you're seeing visions and you're getting this specialized training and you know it works because like people have been in your mind and you've been in other people's minds, like you know it's like a mind magic thing happening. I don't know. And it has to do with your sworn enemy. Just do your little physio exercises, Harry.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Everything goes downhill from here.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the finale. Thank fucking God. I thought we'd never get here.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like to check in with the book and be like, how much fucking... Okay, so today we did chapter 31, Owls. Next week, chapter 32, Out of the Fire. So that's when he checks through the Flu Network through Umbridge's office.
Yeah, it's like very like totally spies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spy Kids 7.
Yeah, it's okay. That chapter is Spy Kids.
Then we get Fight and Flight, which is when they go get the Thestrals and fly away.
That's like Dora the Explorer, kind of like we're going on a trip, or Baby Einstein going on a trip.
Magic School Bus.
Magic School Bus. Oh my God, it's Magic School Bus. Okay.
I was gonna say My Little Pony.
Oh, because they're on the ponies.
And because friendship is magic.
Yeah. Okay, then what?
And then we have the Department of Mysteries.
That's kind of aptly
I would kind of say
the corridor. The corridor.
I would say that's Dora the Explorer because they're like exploring.
Yeah, that's Dora the Explorer. Okay. Chapter 35.
Fun.
Beyond the Veil.
See,
turn that into a kid's show.
Is that like
controversial opinion, Mr. Rogers?
Oh.
Okay.
You've got to acknowledge the death, and you've got to, like Harry.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like it's going to take a while for it to sink in, but this is the real world being there at a time that you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
And like, while Mr. Rogers was better than anyone in this book ever could be at doing that, that's kind of what it is. It's the first time that he's
Mr.
got
Rogers
to like,
as Dumbledore?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
God. Well, no, see that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Fred Rogers could not have raised Harry Potter for slaughter.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's a good guy.
Yeah, because he's a good person.
Chapter 36, the only one he ever feared.
Oh, that's like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Mortal Kombat. Okay. Because that's like Dumbledore versus Voldemort, right?
Yeah, Dumb versus Vold.
If there's a scene that like the movies ever got right, it's that one, I will say. I'll defend the fifth movie forever. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Yeah, if you wanted to make it more children's related, it could also be Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the former apprentice who,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then chapter 37, The Lost Prophecy.
I'm drawing a blank. The Lost Prophecy.
well, that's when everything gets explained.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that would be like,
Magic School Bus again.
Yeah. Or like Bill Nye
Okay.
explaining everything.
it's how it's made.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last chapter, The Second War Begins.
I'm trying to think, like, what child soldiers? What do we got? What do we got in terms
Avatar.
of
Mighty
Avatar?
Morphin Power Rangers.
Clone Wars animated series?
Ooh, there you go.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that one, but I believe you.
It's, I just started watching it. It's very good.
Hell yeah. Well,
And
There we
that's
go.
that brings us to our plugs.
yeah, that's the children's summary of the finale of Order of the Phoenix, in which it's totally child friendly and nothing bad happens.
Nothing bad happens.
Nothing bad is going to happen after this chapter. Harry just like he had a little scary dream. He fell. He bumped his head, but it's all good. It's fine.
It's fine. It's
fine.
fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything's great.
All right, let's wrap it up. Adele, where can people find you on the internet? Should you wish to be found on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. It's at Adele_Marilyn. It'll be in the show notes. Yeah. I'm starting a blog. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. Basically, it's going to be like a concert review, theater review blog. Because I live in Vancouver and there's a lot of cool art stuff happening in the city. And I kind of just want to share my experience about it.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Yeah. Oh, and I can plug something too. Ooh.
Yeah, what's something you've been enjoying lately you think the listeners of our pod would like?
So, my girlfriend and I recently finished a co-op game. I don't know if it's ever been plugged on the show before, but it's called A Way Out. It's about 6 to 8 hours of gameplay. It's by Horizon Studios or like Hazelight Studios, I think. They're also the creators of the game of the year, It Takes Two, which got a lot of buzz.
I love that game.
Yeah, so this is their earlier game from like 2018, 2019.
Okay.
It's 1970s prison break co-op. I'm not going to say anything else because, oh my gosh, it's like playing like a visual novel almost. And the co-op is really, really secure. And there are multiple choices that affect your outcome. And yeah, it's really, really good. And it's only about 6 to 8 hours. So I would really, really recommend it to anyone who's looking for a really good couch co-op or online co-op game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Rick. I'm going to look into it.
Yeah.
Andrew, what are you plugging this week?
I'm not changing mine last minute to make Mott's wrong at all. I was totally from the beginning going to go with the video game that I've been playing recently. That's one that I actually love from long ago. Well, not super long ago, but it's Far Cry 5.
Oh, Far Cry.
It's very fun.
Is that the prehistoric one?
No, that's what is that? That's
Oh, sorry. It doesn't matter.
That's,
tech.
Oh, Horizon?
Just curious.
No.
It's fine.
Well, anyways, no, it's you're fighting a cult, a doomsday cult.
Oh, cool.
In fact, it is a Christian white nationalist doomsday cult. Although they're not as racist. They're not as racist, actually. So I guess they're just Christian nationalists, but not white nationalists. But yeah, they've got their own prophet and everything.
Yeah.
And it's a very fun game.
Awesome. Thanks for the rec. I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me, and I'm going to plug Zumba. dancing to work out is fun. I recommend it. Anyway,
Everybody dance.
Adele, thank you so much for joining us for this, the beginning of the end.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love sharing the trials and tribulations of academic rigor and how thrilling and inspiring higher education is. Really just so much to learn from this children's series that just hits hard in ways that I don't think that bitch intended.
Right.
Yeah, but also...
She actually intended a lot less, I think, than we originally thought.
Yeah. I will, as a closing, I will say, fuck standardized testing. All my homies
Yeah.
hate standardized testing.
Yeah, the cool kids hate standardized testing.
Yeah. Open book tests only. Woohoo!
Yeah. And Andrew, love you, dude.
Love you too.
And that's the end of the episode. That's it, potheads. Thanks for listening to the Restricted Section. This podcast is produced and hosted by me, Christina Kahn. Our theme music was produced by Ryan Kahn. Our logo was designed by Michael Hardison. Please connect with us on Twitter @RestrictedPod, on Instagram @RestrictedSectionPod, on Facebook @RestrictedSectionPod, or in our Facebook group, The Restricted Section Detention Crew. Join our Patreon to get access to our Discord server, our bonus episodes, and other cool perks. We're also very happy to be a member of Deus Ex Media, where all you fucking nerds can find all kinds of fandom podcasts to suit your fancy.
Have you ever gotten so distracted in Stardew Valley that you forgot to sleep? Have you realised that you have a whole room in your house full of dolls? Or have you even bored your friends to sleep talking about your passion? Well then, Content Capable is the podcast for you. Join me, Sam, as I chat to people passionate about what they do, asking questions about how they fell in love with their passion, what they do, and how it interacts with their day-to-day lives. Catch the podcast every Monday as I find out what makes someone tick, all while gleaning interesting and insightful life lessons along the way. There'll be laughs, a bit of crying, a whole lot of conversations, and we learn just a little bit more about the world around us.
I got a fever of 103. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance? It's like, sir, you should go to the hospital. You should not be trying to hook up with this.
Sir,
woman
this is
tonight.
a Wendy's.